Now, before we start this interview, I need you to do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, or go to our website, www.youtube.com/Fowler Show, and hit that subscribe button. We're joined on the phone today by Ben Wessel from 350 Action about the Keystone XL pipeline. As folks know, with the Keystone XL pipeline, we've talked about on the show before, we've talked about it a number of times and how horrible it will be for this country. The fact that there'll be oil, the dirtiest of the dirtiest of the dirtiest of oil, will be flowing through our country and will end up being shipped off to China. And the only residual effect that the American people will have is a possibility of an oil spill in their backyard. Oh boy. But Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
But am I lying about this? There's really no residual effects for the any good residual effects for the American people when it comes to the Keystone Pipeline.
No, I think you're spot on. I mean, we would be basically allowing the Canadians to dig up the dirtiest kind of oil there is on Earth. It's called tar sands from a vast expanse in Alberta, Canada, bigger than the size of Connecticut, and basically shipping it through our country down to export terminals in Port Arthur, Texas, and Houston, Texas, to be shipped overseas. So the only benefit that we get is the possible oil spills in our, in our waterways or on our land. And as we've seen in Arkansas this past couple weeks, this stuff isn't fun to clean up, and nobody really wants this sort of thing running through their backyard. That said, even more, it's the climate impacts that would come from developing this dirty energy source.
I completely and totally agree with you. And the interesting part about it is that Canada won't have this pipeline go through their own country. The whole ideal is they don't want the pipeline in their country whatsoever. So they want to make sure that it doesn't go through, because it could go through any of their myriad of ports, but they think it's best for it to sort of come down and pollute Americans. And of course, people like John Boehner and Eric Cantor and John McCain think that it's a great ideal to have dirty oil flowing through our land and not flowing through Canada's land. But I digress. Now, tell me, because a lot of people don't understand. We talked about this last week with Becky Bonds from Credo. But the whole ideal of this pipeline is that it's very easy for the president to stop this.
That's right. It's really difficult for the president to go through Congress to pass the comprehensive climate legislation that we need. But this decision is his and his alone. And I think that's one reason that there's been so much support in, the grassroots progressive community for taking down this pipeline. Is we worked our tails off to elect this president. And now we think that he, we're holding him to the high standard that he set for himself in this campaign. And it's either a thumbs up or thumbs down decision here. And, he's, working with the State Department to go through the process to decide what to do with this pipeline. And we think, the American people have spoken loudly enough. We're in the process of collecting over 1 million comments to comment on the State Department's environmental review. And we've seen that if this pipeline goes forward, that lots of the president's progressive supporters are going to be pretty miffed, pretty ticked off. And you're speaking to one of them right now. I spent most of the last year working for the president's campaign in New Hampshire, and now I'm here sort of holding him to his great words that he had in the the inauguration or in the State of the Union, and I'm waiting for those actions to live up to his words.